Good day. This presentation, titled Promoting Impactful Pharmaceutical Research for National Development, was delivered by me at Pharmacy Scholars Initiative 5th Anniversary Webinar on the 18th December 2022. The thematic areas of the presentation revolve around these four items: pharmaceutical research, national development, translational research, and researchers' reorientation. You will agree with me that I have actually dealt extensively on the subject matter of translational research in the previous conversation. So it will, if you are interested to know more about translational research, it will be good you watch my video on it. Pharmaceutical research. This slide focuses on introducing the three distinct scopes of pharma research. It is important to highlight these three areas because traditionally researchers and also enthusiasts in research are limited to understanding pharma research on only those traditional areas of pharmacy in terms of faculties in the universities. That is, pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry, pharmacognosy, pharmaceutics, as well as pharmacology. So this is to say that there are indeed wider scopes of pharma research, and you will get to understand as the presentation continues. The three distinct scopes are: the first one, drug discovery and development, where research endeavors are focused on production design, characterization, standardization, quality analysis, formulation, clinical trials of the developed molecules, ethical considerations in terms of safety and efficacy, then evaluation and regulatory affairs, as well as pharmaceutical engineering. All this and many more revolve around the scope of drug discovery and development. The second very important scope of pharmaceutical research that needs to be highlighted is drug utilization and handling. The areas of interest under this particular scope are rational drug use, dispensing and dispensing behaviors and interventions, pharmacovigilance, that is the study of adverse reaction of drugs, logistics and supply chain of management, what happens in the entire gamut of delivery of the drug medication from manufacturer up to the dispensing point. Then pharmacoepidemiology, pharmacoeconomics, pharmaceutical and drug-related policy, as well as pharmaceutical sociology. This scope tries to showcase researches that are done in drug utilization and handling in the population and the whole aspect of handling of the three-dimensional product. The last scope for pharmaceutical research and of interest is the drug waste management and recycling. The scope highlights the areas of extended shelf life for expired products, what happens to the drug when it's no longer useful, that is, drug repurposing. This also relates to what scientists do with trying to reintroduce new molecules or out of use molecules for new disease areas and epidemics. Then the green disposal of expired drugs. What scientists are also interested to what happens, they are interested on what happens to expired products and drugs that are not used so that it's safely taken out of the environment and other areas of interest. National development. It is important within the context of this presentation to highlight the scope of national development in perspective, the improvement of a country in all areas, including the political, economic, social, cultural, scientific, and material spheres, is what is referred to national development, the progress made in terms of those aspects of growth. It focuses on the capacity of a country to raise the standard of living of its citizens, the status of citizens on the Human Development Index, what research is vital for economic development, as well as it is very vital to realities in the low and middle income countries. The figure on the right side of the screen tries to show the concept of the Sustainable Development Goals, which the United Nations is actually canvassing, which started from 2015 at the expiration of the 15 years of the Millennium Development Goals from 2000 to 2015. The targets of the 17 goals of the Sustainable Development Goals are expected to be achieved by the year 2030. How well are countries and low and middle income countries are faring is another conversation altogether. Translational research, I must say that I have dealt with this aspect in my previous video on translational research bedside to bench from bedside. So it will be nice you go over that video and get enlightened about this concept. But it suffices to say that translational research is an important aspect of biomedical research where bench or laboratory work, and in some cases field studies, are taken to the bedside for implementation. The process of translational research focuses on translating basic scientific discoveries into real-time clinical applications and ultimately to public health improvements. Bench to bedside, the process by which the results of research done in the laboratory are directly used to develop new ways to treat patients. Translational research is important in field and operational researches where policies and practice goal of operational researches are enhanced. These are done to increase the efficacy, effectiveness, and quality of services delivered by providers, and the availability, accessibility, and acceptability of services desired by users. In essence, operational researches also help to improve service delivery, just as bench and laboratory researches are scaled up to improve bedside outcomes of patients at the clinical sites. What are the role of pharmacists in pharmaceutical research? The role of pharmacists as a 9-star pharmacist is not limited to only research, but within the context of this presentation, in undertaking research endeavors, pharmacists are pioneers and also leaders in phytomedicine and herbal medicine standardization. Pharmacists also play key roles in self-care and self-treatment. They are leading authority in clinical pharmacy, pharmaceutical care service delivery, drug therapy problems identification and resolutions. This happens continuously in the hospital setting and also in the community pharmacy practice setting. Pharmacists are expected to lead in supply chain and logistics management of all regulated products, both medicines, pharmaceutical, and health commodities. Pharmacists take leading role in public health and health seeking patterns. They also take leading role in pharmaceutical quality systems, both in quality control and quality assurance. Pharmacists have role in drug development and drug production management, as well as in drug utilization, drug misuse, and abuse rehabilitation programs. Pharmacists in the community have a relevant role in tobacco and alcohol cessation programs. Generally, pharmacists take leading role in drug waste management, etc., etc. The need for researchers' reorientation. The only way and one of the important ways that researchers can add value to service delivery and also product development is when researchers refocus and recalibrate current trend from publish or perish syndrome in universities and research institutes to research for impact. Let it be that researchers are doing their endeavors, research endeavors for impact to community and citizens. This means that researchers need to unlearn and relearn to adapt to entrepreneurial orientation in all aspects of research. Let it be that any research endeavor that is being undertaken by pharma researchers, that endeavor should add value to solving problems or relieving the problems, myriad of problems that patients face. Research uptake by end users to guide research concepts and processes at all levels from undergraduate to postgraduate levels. That is, let it be that researchers have a synergy with uptakers of research products, that is the industry and the donors, so that they know their problems and they design and conceptualize researches that will solve the industry problems and real life problems in communities. Promotion of impactful pharma research for national development. This is where the nexus of the presentation is, having highlighted the thematic areas and also the different aspects of pharma research. The alignment of research goals by researchers at ivory towers to sustainable development goals, to extant national policies such as the National Health Policy, the National Strategic Health Development Plan 2, and National Drug Policy, etc. Until researchers get conversant with this important document for development, they will not design their researches to address the aspirations of these important policy documents. Then adoption of evidence-based policy development by ministries, departments, and agencies backed by empirical findings from surveys and research. This will help researchers to know that whatever they are doing has meaningful impact. Let it be that it's not only researchers that are realigning and recalibrating their the research concepts. The policy makers should also learn and also align their policy implementation to empirical evidence found from surveys and researches. At inception of ideas and development of study design, all research endeavors from tertiary institutions and research institutes should be tailored towards solving societal problems across all sectors. Challenges of conducting impactful pharma research. The challenges faced by researchers in conducting impactful researches are germane in being the clog to progress for translational researches. Researchers encounter a variety of obstacles along the path of taking a novel concept from the bench to bedside and in operational researches. Amongst these challenges are enumerated: determining and framing the right questions at the bench level that have clinical relevance. This can be solved when the clinicians are involved in concept development. Inadequate funding. This can also be solved when grants are open to researchers and they are not made to have very stringent uh, parameters for access. Non-due recognition of innovative concept in product development and solving societal or industrial problems. This happens when the country or the relevant government agencies and also industry players, captain of industries, do not give due recognition to researchers that for years and decades have been at the bench solving problems. Then territorialism of researchers. There is the problem of operation in silos that happens in academics and also in research institutes. That has to be broken, and that can only be done when researchers liberate their mind and also open up their activities to peer collaboration and networking. Another important challenge is low morale to good attitude to work. These are multifaceted, and it could be as a result of inadequate capacity building and insufficient training. The way forward, I have alluded to some of the solutions to the challenges, but importantly, it is key to highlight here that adopting entrepreneurial concept in research as an enterprise will go a long way in changing the narration and narrative of researchers' endeavors. Adaptation to project-based learning and scholarship. Let it be that learning and scholarship is linked to projects and they are endowed as professorial chairs and also project endowment by relevant entrepreneurs and foundations. Products and service development to be duly recognized above just theoretical publications. That is, instead of putting points for publications as a marker or index for or benchmark for promotion of academics and research fellows, product and service development should have more points. That is, researchers that are able to develop products that are useful in the community and also design services that solve inherent societal problems should have higher points and recognition for promotions. Academics should create platforms in universities and research institutes for periodic engagement with practitioners in the field as clinicians and also other key stakeholders, policymakers and industry through sectoral advisory boards for sustained collaboration and networking between researchers and other stakeholders. Young researchers to seek for mentorship through networking with researchers that are involved in real translational and implementation research projects. Dismantling of silos and establishment of synergy and handshake between bench researchers and all stakeholders. Successful translational research projects should facilitate cross-fertilization of ideas and discourse for solving societal problems. Embracing the quadruple helix model for sustainable collaboration between academia, government agencies, industry, and indeed the community that are the direct beneficiaries. Introduction of federal government incentive scheme for translational researches and development for pharma sector and intellectual property rights. In conclusion, for pharmacists and indeed researchers to remain the backbone in pharmaceutical sciences as well as pharmaceutical service delivery, we should improve our competencies and capacity in line with global best practices in all the three relevant scopes of pharmaceutical research. Development and innovation for enhanced national development. Pharmaceutical outcomes researches are important areas for sustainable translational research activities in the evolving healthcare ecosystem that will improve health and well-being of citizens and guarantee access to universal health coverage. Thank you for listening, and I will implore you to take time to read the other and listen to other presentations. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and like and share. Thank you and God bless.